and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan, and today we are doing a deadline stream for Gameweek24. We've got our deadline in an hour's time, and I thought we'd hop on, as usual, and do our deadline stream and answer a few questions. So what's up, guys? Shout out to the Blackcurrant Squash gang. If there's any members in the chat right now, throw me some Blackcurrant Squash emojis to let me know you are there, and I'll have a little sip and a cheers. Cheers, guys. Now, today, I'm pretty tired. So if I behave like a zombie in today's stream, let me assure you guys that I also feel like a zombie. I've somehow developed some kind of insomnia over the last few days, over the last week or so. I wish I could say it's, I've had 3 hours sleep last night. I wish I could say it was for a cool reason, like I was out partying or maybe up all night playing Xbox or something. But no, I just can't sleep at the moment for some reason. But we are going to try and we're going to try and get through the next hour anyway on as much sleep as we do have, because FPL waits for no one. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Super chat already from Susmit Gosh. Mitoma or March for the long run. I actually prefer Alexis McAllister. McAllister. And I never know how to say it. Was it McAllister, as if he's a Scotsman? Kind of is a Scotsman in a way, an Argentinian Scotsman. But yeah, McAllister is probably the one I would go for out of the three. And he's probably going to be the guy that I go for out of the three. And I'll show you for why. So I did actually post something on Twitter yesterday, I believe. So, this is over the long term, by the way, guys. So, I would not be buying a Brighton midfielder or any Brighton player this week unless you are free hitting in Game Week 25. I appreciate you guys probably want Brighton players, but you have left it a little bit late, if I'm totally honest. But if we look at the numbers from the last game, you can see that McAllister, I mean, look at these numbers. 1.37 XG, 0.22 XA, creating chances for his teammates, taking a lot of shots. And this is because he has been moved into the central attacking midfield position, which is usually occupied by Adam Lallana. And when McAllister plays in that position, well, he does quite well there. He does quite well. He's on penalties as well. So I'm actually expecting that McAllister could be the one to go for. And it's a bit of a differential because not a lot of people will, be looking at these numbers. Not a lot of people will kind of be taking any notice for the fact of the McAllister position change as well, which is significant. So it's kind of like a little differential. It's a pick for those in the know, I suppose. And I think this is the direction I'm going to go in after we get this Game Week 25 blank out of the way. It's going to be McAllister for me. I'm going to go for him over the likes of Mitoma and March. If I had to choose between Mitoma and March, I would still go for Mitoma out of the two guys. But yeah, I feel like we could go somewhere slightly different and see if we can get a little advantage over some of our rivals by going for something like that. So yeah, just my little opinion on that one. So yeah, there we go. That's who I would go for out of the Brighton midfielders. But obviously not this week, unless you're free hitting in Game Week 25. Another super chat from Base Robin says, should I keep Mahrez and play him? I think if you have him, you probably do keep him, and you probably do play him as well. So, it's a difficult one. If I'm totally honest with you guys, I don't think Mahrez is going to start in Game Week 24. I'm not confident enough about that one to say that for certain, though. It's one of those situations where it's probably like 50-50 whether Mahrez starts this game or not. Even if he does play, you'd expect he does get limited minutes. He's not going to play 90 minutes, most likely. You would think that there could be a little bit of rotation for Manchester City ahead of the Nottingham Forest game. A lot of people are kind of, I think there's a big discussion to be had here, to be honest. So I think we'll park that, because I think there is a lot of discussion to be had about Manchester City this week. A lot, and it includes captaincy stuff as well. And before we talk about that, what I do want to do is start a bench list. Now, as I say, I didn't really sleep last night, so yeah, rushing around this morning to get this stream up and trying to, not be a zombie has been a challenge. So I haven't pre-prepared a bench list, but it is something that I do want to do in today's stream. So we're going to do a bench list, guys. So what I want you to do is throw a name of a player in the chat of a player who you are considering benching. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear you put Nketiah in there. I don't want to hear you put Saka or Kane or Rashford or Bruno Fernandes. I don't want to hear those names. I want to hear those players who are kind of on the prefaces. So for me, it would be Ake and Dunk, for example, because I'm considering actually playing Dunk ahead of Ake. So I think that creates a question there. You would maybe have Ben White in there as well. But let's start off with my guys. I'm going to put Ake slightly ahead of Dunk. There's not much in it, to be honest. I can see loads of names in the chat, so let's start adding those in. Trippier, I'm going to put him in straight away at the top. I think that's pretty easy. Bueno, we're not going to put him too high just because he is a serious minutes risk at the moment. So I'll put him pretty low. Kilman, I do think there is a little bit more scope to play him though. And I do feel like I possibly play Kilman over some of these other guys. Yeah, I possibly play Kilman here, I think. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll put Kilman about there. Ben White, would I play? I think I would consider benching Ben White if I'm honest. I don't know if I'm confident about an Arsenal clean sheet anymore. Don't know if I'm confident about that one anymore. We've got a few names in here. Tarkowski, I would play him above all of these guys other than Trippier. João Felix, I'm not going to put him in because if you have him, you play him. Akanji, I guess we put Akanji. I'm going to put Akanji next to Ake. I can't see that there's too much between them at the moment. Akanji has been out of favour the last couple of games. But, another way of looking at that is that he's been rested the last couple of days. Really is difficult to predict Pep, isn't it? Really, really difficult. And it's going to be even more difficult this week if I am totally honest. What else have we got here? Reece James. So Reece James is not in the squad apparently. So I'm actually going to put Reece James there. And do I have an emoji keyboard? I don't know if I do. Hang on, let me copy and paste an emoji from my phone. That works. Is there oh, there you go. This emoji will do. Just to show us. There we go. Right, so Reece James not going to be playing this week, so that's why it's going at the bottom, just to clear that one up. Nicole says, hi mate, had a disaster, felt like giving up 53 points in double game week 23, fell from 2k to 12k. You feel like giving up because you're 12,000th in the world. Nicole, man, come on. I'm sure pretty much everyone in the chat right now would love to have your rank. Absolutely would love it. Sure, benched. It happens. KDB, Saka and Mahrez killed me. Yeah, I mean, perhaps not going for Saka has killed you. I feel like Saka is, the player to buy at the moment. Yeah, benching Shaw is something that happens. Not buying KDB and Mahrez, it's something that happens. Like, not everyone fancied them, and not going for KDB, not going for Mahrez is something that I feel like could still pay off in the long run. As for Saka, that's probably the one you need to sort out. So, yeah, if you can get Saka into your team, I probably would do that, to be honest. But look, you're still doing very well, so don't worry too much, man. Don't worry too much at all. Sultan says Rashford or Haaland captain. If you are feeling sensible, then go for Haaland as your captain. There you go. If you really fancy taking a risk, then this is the week to take a risk on Rashford. So, yeah, there's going to be very much a case of, are you willing to take a risk? Are you willing to take a risk or not? That's up to you. That is up to you. Right, we've got Gabriel as another suggestion for players on the bench list. We're very defence heavy at the moment. I'll pick some other players. Martinelli is an option. I'll play Martinelli ahead of the, yes, he is a bit rotation risk now, but I would still play him. Mitrovic, yeah, slight worry there. I still feel like I would probably play him though. Back the attacker. Let's put him up the top. Ødegaard, I play ahead of Mitrovic. So there's you guys on Ødegaard. Let's put him up there. Any other major names that need to go in? Mahrez. Yeah, again, if you have him, you play him. Mitma. Oh, you got to play him. You got to play the any Brighton players you have. This is your last chance, really. This is your last chance. Lewis. I'm going to put Lewis alongside these other Man City guys. Ben Mee, I would play him probably ahead of most other. Yeah, I'll play him above most other defenders, to be honest. Anyone else? Almiron against Liverpool. You know, I feel like Almiron drops a little bit in and amongst the defenders. You know, his numbers are still terrible. I don't expect. Control Command Space does an emoji. Let's try that one. Control, unless this is a. Am I being scammed? Control Command Space. I don't know if I haven't configured my emoji keyboard or whatever, but it's not working. Maybe I need to configure it. I have actually got the languages or button on my keyboard. I'll probably just need to set up emojis on this computer, but I don't know why I've not done that. I've had it for over a year. Anyway, Botman. Oh, you know, Botman I think does drop down this week. I think he is in and amongst the Arsenal guys. He is a player who he's one of the players I would actually consider selling this week. He's one of the players I would consider selling. So I'm going to put him back there. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be selling Botman for Gameweek 25 anyway. I wouldn't mind actually, I don't know, potentially selling him one game week early, to be honest. Estepinian, I'm going to put him, because of his attacking threat, I'm going to put him up here. So let's put Estepin there. Andreas. I mean, you probably don't play Andreas above too many of these players. Maybe we put Andreas like here. Lots of suggestions for Chelsea defenders as well. Let's. I think I'm going to group them all up together. Let's have a think here. So Chelsea defenders, fairly decent chance of a clean sheet, you would say, against Southampton at home. So let's put him. Or them, I suppose. I'm going to put them behind Ben and me. So, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, and Badiashile. They can go there. Kilman a bit low, do you think? I don't know if I agree with that. Like, yes, Bournemouth is a good fixture, but like, we've got a good fixture as well for the Man City defenders. You would say that Brighton have a slightly better fixture. You know, Wolves are just not that great of a defence at the moment either. So if we have a look at team data since game week 17, look at expected goals conceded per appearance, you can see the Wolves are kind of one of the lower defences. You could say a similar thing about Everton, but of course Everton do have the advantage of the new manager. They do have the same amount of XGC per game though. So yeah, that's why Kilman is low, is because Wolves aren't an amazing defence. I like Kilman for his double game week, don't get me wrong, but in a normal game week, he's not someone who I would necessarily be prioritising, I would say. But he's ahead of the Arsenal guy, so that's something. That's something. And there's a lot of good defenders with good fixtures in this bench list. So I don't think Kilman is too low, really, when you compare him to some of the other guys. Cucurella, Reece James, Thiago Silva aren't playing. Oh, God, has that come out? I have to admit, guys, like I say, I've not had too much sleep. So I haven't actually been able to check team news this morning. Has there been more news that more Chelsea defenders are unavailable? Let me just check. Oh, Thiago Silva is not in there anyway either. So yeah, okay, we can confirm that. So let's put Thiago Silva next to Reece James. Oh, so no Thiago Silva. Is there? So just Cucurella and Badiashile as well? Are we saying? I can't see that anywhere. I'll keep having a look quickly, guys, just so we make sure we got the right information for you. Can't really see anything. Yeah, if anyone's got a source on, you know, Cucurella and Bariashile not being available, then please do let me know. I found the Reece James and Thiago Silva though. Allo Black says, what to do with Martinelli, mate? Didn't want to make a transfer, but bench isn't great. Cheers from Australia. I mean, if you can do Martinelli to Saka, I think that would be one of the first moves I'd do. Other than that, it's difficult for midfielders right now. It is difficult. Maybe just hold him for one more week and maybe make a double transfer next week involving getting in Mo Salah potentially. But yeah, Saka is a guy I'd get. Ødegaard is a guy I would get for Martinelli. Yeah, midfielders for the next couple of weeks is pretty bare, and that's not really been helped by the fact that a lot of the midfielders are either kind of playing for Man City and a bit of a rotation risk, or you know, we're talking about Brighton midfielders and Manchester United midfielders who aren't even available for Gameweek 25. So yeah, it's difficult. I maybe just stick with Martinelli. To be honest, it's not ideal, but we are where we are. Matt says, Nunez or Felix for Wilson or roll the transfer. I prefer João Felix. I don't trust Nunez. I think Nunez is going to have his minutes reduced soon. We've got Firmino and Jota back for Liverpool now. And we're going to have Luis Diaz back very soon as well. So I think there could be a shake-up in the attack of Liverpool. And you would be surprised because Liverpool do need to turn their season around. Maybe the start of that was in game week 23 against Everton, but you know, you would kind of think that there is going to be a change here or there. So yeah, Nunez, I don't think I think, you know, there's a chance that he doesn't start both games in a double game week unless Klopp is going to kind of stubbornly stick to what he's got. But if you've got these players back, then yeah, I don't know if I'd touch Nunez. I'm not quite happy with that one. Salah I would go with for Liverpool, but yeah, I don't think Nunez. Not for me. He's not for me. Mikael says, got 2 free transfers. Shaw, Patterson or Castagna out for Kilman, Tarkowski or other suggestions. I prefer Tarkowski. He is my favourite of those cheap defenders to go for right now. I would keep Patterson because there's a chance that he's going to be back. I guess it would have to be Castagna. Castagna out for Tarkowski because I think I'd keep Luke Shaw for this game week as well. Castagna out for Tarkowski. There you go. That works pretty well. Yeah, I like it. That's what I'll do. Next super chat from 3BDU123. Are there options for strikers other than Felix? Nketiah is still going to be an option for you. Kane is obviously an option. If we go for predicted points for this game week, then yeah, it's looking like Felix is kind of your friend, really. You're obviously not going to go for Tony because he blanks next game week unless you're free hitting. Some people might say Darwin Nunez. Not super convinced, like I kind of mentioned. Yeah, there's not really much, to be honest. Yeah, it's pretty barren. It's pretty bare in terms of forwards at the moment, which is not ideal. If we look over the next 4 game weeks, then again, João Felix is kind of up there. He really is up there in terms of players expected to score a decent amount of points. So, look, he's your guy. If you really, really desperately want to go for someone else, Nketiah, Darwin, if you have to go for him, yeah, I don't think I'll go any lower than that, to be honest. I don't think I'll go any further than that. So, yeah, I can understand why you're kind of questioning, are there any kind of options for strikers? The answer is kind of not really. Not really is your answer, unfortunately. Mitrovic to Felix, Martinelli to Ødegaard for a -4. I think you could probably afford to keep Martinelli for one more week. I don't think it's worth a -4. To be honest. Duncan Crawford, hello, my friend. Is that me in your profile picture, Duncan? It is. That's me. Hey. I have a front 8 of Rashi, Bruno, Saka, Ødegaard, Mitoma, Haaland, Kane, and Nketiah. How can I play it? Mitoma. Oh, Christ. Let's have a look here. So who would you bench? You're not going to bench Rashford. You're not going to bench Bruno. You're not going to bench Saka. You're not going to... You could... Ødegaard is the one. Yeah. The only way I think Erdegaard is the one player I would consider not playing. Let's have a look at predicted points. Let's get the predicted points tool to do the work for us, I think, Duncan. What does that say? So he says, play Rashford, play Fernandes, play Mitoma. Okay, so Mitoma should actually be third on your list, ahead of Saka and the other guys. So yeah, it's actually saying play Erdegaard over Saka, but I don't agree with that one. So okay, we're going to ignore that one. So far, Erdegaard, so 5.4 predicted points is the target. You've got Kane, Haaland, and Nketiah. And they got more than 5.4 predicted points. Those two have... Oh, Nketiah bang on 5.4. So I would say that your answer is to bench Erdegaard. Yeah. It's not something that you'd like to do, really. And it could go terribly, terribly wrong. But look, that's just what happens. I know a lot of people did the same thing. They swapped out Andreas Pereira for Mitoma, and now they're left with a kind of benching headache every week. But at the same time, you know, you can bench him in Game Week 25, which is always a good thing, and you can play him in future Game Weeks. So you're pre-prepared for those doubles. But you're going to have to make a tricky decision, Duncan, mate. Yeah, I think I'd bench Erdegaard. I think I would do that as well. Maybe that's the pessimist Arsenal fan in me. But yeah, that is what I would do. That is what I would do. Edison and Kepa on the bench list. Oh man, I'm always going to put Kepa ahead on the bench list. I'm a Kepa fanboy these days, apparently. Base Robin says, what about Foden? Oh, you want to put him on the bench list, huh? I don't know. Do we think he's going to start? It's risky, isn't it? Is it too much of a risk? Probably. Should we put him like here? I mean, probably better than Almiron. Yeah, back the attacker a little bit there. And everyone's rotation risk for Man City. Yeah, I don't even know why people would have Foden in these days, to be honest. Crazy one. Actually, let's put... we've actually put Mitoma above Erdegaard on the bench list anyway. So I think we've already kind of got that covered. I'm going to put... I don't think I need to put anyone else in here, really. Let's put Nketiah in there, because people will be asking about that. And Saka. I know what, Saka, you don't bench Saka. You don't put Baby in the corner. Suryansh says, -4, Kilman for Shaw / Trippier, or Felix for Havertz. Definitely would not take that -4 to swap to getting Kilman for Shaw or Trippier this week. I'll just play Shaw and Trippier. I think they're probably better options than Kilman this week anyway, so definitely would not be making that move. No way. Felix for Havertz, I would consider... But, like, even that one, for a -4, would I really do it? I don't think I would. Unless you really are, like, thinking of this as a long-term move, you're not planning on wildcarding or anything else anytime soon, and you do want to keep Felix for the long term, then I don't think I'd take the -4. But if you are going to, you know, keep Felix for the long term, this is something that's part of your long-term strategy, then maybe I'll take a -4 to do that, but definitely would not be taking a -4 to bring in Kilman this week, like, ahead of Shaw and Trippier. You know, Joachim says, where do I put Shaw in this list? Great point. Great question. I'm going to put him... you know, the attacking threat does a lot for me. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm going to put him up next to Trippier. I'm going to put him up there. His attacking threat swings it. I think the likes of Ben Mee and the Chelsea defenders have a better chance of a clean sheet, but Luke Shaw's attacking threat, you know, is there, and you know, there is a decent chance of a clean sheet as well. You know, there's somewhat of a chance. Right, people saying Cucurella is out. If you've got any source on some of these other Chelsea defenders being out, I would love to see him. I can't find it in my usual places, to be honest. So yeah, if you've got anything for me, then that'd be great. Dylan says Kane / Mahrez to Felix / Salah. No, I don't think I'd do that. Harry Kane is still a very good pick. I wouldn't let one blank sway that. And I don't think you really need to get Salah this week. I mean, Salah, remember, is playing against one of the best defences in the league in Newcastle this week. So I don't think you need to do that. Mahrez, if he starts, it's a big if, but if he starts, then it's going to be, you know, it could be a bloodbath there. So yeah, I would not be making that move this week. It would be a move to consider next game week, though, for sure. All right, okay. We've got a decent amount of players in the bench list now, I would say. A couple of other players people are asking for, but, you know, these are really rarely owned players. And you guys are, you know, you're asking for players like Walker and, you know, Rico Henry and that kind of player. Just look at the other defenders from similar teams. You know, you could probably put Rico Henry next to Ben Mee. You could probably put Kyle Walker around the other Man City defenders, for example. So, yeah, hopefully that's going to be the one. Anna Root says, Akanji playing. Mahrez could transfer in. Akanji, I have no idea if he's playing or not. It's really difficult to predict at this point. And is Mahrez a good transfer in? No, I don't like Mahrez as a transfer in. I think you kind of missed the boat on that one. And we're in serious minutes risk territory with Mahrez now. So, you know, Mahrez was a good transfer. Right now, he's just a super, super risky transfer. Like, ridiculous risk to the point where it arguably becomes stupid. If you're feeling kind of stupid, you're feeling, you know, super risky, you don't really care, then fine, go for it. But look, it's not a transfer I'm keen on making. Abdullah says, you're amazing, man, with a little star at the end. Abdullah, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. Okay, right, guys, we've got a decent amount of players on the bench list. Let's make a poll. And the poll that I want to make today is going to be a captain poll. Who is your Gameweek24 captain? And I'm going to put on the list Haaland, Rashford. I'm going to put Harry Kane in third. Is Harry Kane like high predicted points for this week? Yeah, he's number 3. And then I'm going to put other as well. I imagine there's a João Felix in there. I imagine there's a Fernandes in there. Maybe some crazy people going for Mahrez or Saka or someone else. I don't know. But yeah, that is going to be the captain poll. And whilst that's running, I've got another super chat here from John Snow himself. Nunez to Felix this week to allow for Salah next game week. You could do, to be fair. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, decent. What happened to Reece James? I think he's injured again. I know. Yeah, not in the squad. Almiron 2. Midfielders are so difficult. If I go on midfielders, this is like madness. If we go on midfielders for... Oh, I can't deselect forwards. There we go. For the next few game weeks, Salah, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Mahrez, De Bruyne, you know, it's kind of like risky because we've got, if the next 2 game weeks are tough, you're just looking at Salah and the Arsenal guys, really, and everything after that is just kind of trashed here. Mahrez, rotation risk, De Bruyne are a little bit expensive for what he is, and then we're at like Gray. Not even really been playing too much recently. So difficult. Maybe you go for Demarai Gray. I don't know. Nketiah to Felix. No, definitely don't do that. Nketiah's got double game week next week. Yeah, midfielders is so difficult right now. I've been really been trying to pick out a midfielder for my own various strategies that I kind of like to tinker with. I can't find anyone. All right, Private says play 2. Bruno, Andreas, Tete. Wouldn't play Tete. Wouldn't play Bueno. Wouldn't play Andreas. I wouldn't play any of these players. You got to play 2. I guess go on Bueno and Andreas. That's horrible. Yeah, Fulham aren't keeping a clean sheet against Brighton, probably. Andreas could get an attacking return. Bueno, if he starts, is great. He did play 45 minutes last game. Don't know. Don't like any of that. Bench Andreas or Mitrovic? Definitely bench Andreas. Yeah, you don't want to be bench Mitrovic. I think I've got both those guys on the bench list anyway, so I don't need to answer some of these bench questions. Mahrez to Foden? No. You're just creating another problem for yourself later down the line. Odegaard, Mahrez, Mitoma, which one do we bench? Joseph, check out the bench list. It has your answers. Yeah, Odegaard, I would bench out of those. Oh, no, because I've got Mahrez there. It's so difficult to bench. Could you bench Mahrez? I would. Okay, yeah, I'll probably bench Mahrez. I'll take the risk and bench Mahrez. Yeah, I'll take the risk. If you have to. If you have to. Let's have a look at this captaincy poll then. So we've got 66% on Erling Haaland. We've got 27% on Rashford, 5% on Kane, 2% on others. So it is really, we really are getting dominated here by Haaland and Rashford. Really, really getting dominated there. Haaland in particular, but that's just standard. But to see Rashford up at 27% is quite significant. Quite significant indeed. So, I don't know. What do we think about that? What do we think about that? All right, let's talk about... We're halfway through the stream. Let's talk about Haaland versus Rashford. Let's have this discussion. So, first of all, there is major rotation risk for everyone at Man City. Major rotation risk. We've got the Champions League game coming up in the midweek for Man City. And we've had a fairly hectic schedule so far for Man City with the midweek game against Arsenal. It's kind of the perfect time. The next 2 game weeks, whilst we're talking about it, let's get up Man City's fixtures schedule. It's kind of the perfect time to rotate the next 2 Premier League games. More so this week, really. So, what is going to happen? Who's going to get rotated? Well, your major risks are all of the defenders are major rotation risks. Well, you can't call it anymore. You can't call which midfielders, which defenders are going to play for Man City. They've become the most rotation risk position on the entire pitch, which is really, really difficult. Okay, so, hang on. Apparently, we have got news that Cucurella is out. I'm going to try and verify that now. Any other things you see, let me know in terms of early news. But let's have a look at Cucurella. But yeah, look, there is some rotation. There is some rotation. Okay, I've got confirmation that Cucurella is not playing, so yeah, we can confirm that now. Right, I guess Badiashile, you're on your own, pal. What have I done? Yeah, so go back to Man City. There's going to be rotation. There's going to be rotation. We don't know where it's going to be. Major rotation in defence we're expecting, and there's also going to be maybe the likes of early substitutions. So Erling Haaland is a big question. I think this is a big week to say, okay, we'll take a risk on Rashford and hope that Haaland is benched. And I think that's valid. People saying Trossard is starting. Apparently, I'll have a look. I'll verify that whilst we're just talking about this one as well. So I'm not saying that Haaland is going to be benched. I'm saying there's a chance that he does. And if he does, then Rashford captainers are going to have a huge advantage there. If Haaland does start, then you imagine he does quite well. We have got Ben White starting as well, apparently, which is good news for you Ben White owners. We've got Ben White starting. Looks like Ødegaard is actually... Is it Ødegaard who's been... No, it isn't. Or is it? I don't know. I can't really figure this one out. Not sure who's been dropped. Not sure if it's... I know it's Martinelli. Yeah, okay. Martinelli out, Trossard in. So that's bad news for Martinelli owners, and we're going to drop him down the bench list. Rotation risk. Why do people want me to add Walker to the bench list? There you go. I'll shove him in there. Happy? Okay, let's put Martinelli a little bit lower. When I say a little bit lower, if you know he's on the bench, you just stick him right at the bottom, don't you? I guess I put him like here. It really is that bad. Damn it. Unfortunate Martinelli owners. Okay, yeah. Rashford, I know Rashford also has a midweek game against Barcelona, but Ten Hag doesn't rotate. He just doesn't. And you feel like Rashford is required in this Manchester United team to beat Leicester. You don't feel that Haaland is required to beat this Nottingham Forest team. You would think that Alvarez is more than capable. We also know that Haaland has had injury problems recently and maybe is in more need of a rest. There was doubts about him playing against Arsenal. It could be that he was playing through injury. If Haaland does play Nottingham Forest, yes, their defence is depleted, but Nottingham Forest will also have good home form, and they are still putting up some of the best defensive numbers. You can see here, 6th best defensive numbers since the international break. So, that's pretty good. You would still think Man City go there and score a couple of goals, but then you'd say, even if they score a couple of goals, then maybe Haaland gets substituted off early, rested. You could say that even if Haaland does start, is De Bruyne going to start the game? And is that going to have an impact on Haaland's ability to score goals and get on the end of his chances? It's the perfect time for the major players to be rotated, which is why Haaland, Mahrez, De Bruyne, these players that have been pretty decent FPL picks recently, these 3 players are suddenly more risky than they were before. I'm not saying that they're, terrible. And they're definitely going to get rotated. I'm just saying they're slightly more risky than they were before. So that does open us up for a possibility of a Rashford captain. Now, I'm a little bit mad. I've got a pretty low rank and I fancy trying to go for a big swing. I'm not saying that Rashford is the sensible captain. Please, I cannot stress this enough. If you are happy with your rank, you don't want to take a risk, do not captain Rashford. It is so risky. However, if you're feeling a little bit spicy, you want to take advantage of the possibilities, of the chances of rotation for Man City, of the chances that of reduced minutes, the chances that Nottingham Forest actually are, more recently, on paper, actually a better defence than Leicester. Not a terrible amount in it, not a huge amount in it, but still, if you want to take that chance, then now is your opportunity to do so. If you are asking me, who should I captain? Dan, who should I captain? I'm going to tell you the answer is Erling Haaland. But if you, as an individual, feel like taking a risk, and I, as an individual, do feel like taking a risk, then hey, why not Rashford? Why not? Rashford gets more points for goals, gets clean sheet points. He is more nailed on. He's going to probably play the majority of this game. We probably expect that Rashford, the likes of Man City and Man United will probably score a similar amount of goals this week. I will just say that. Basically. Right, a few more suggestions for the bench list. So, March has bin suggested. I'm going to put him slightly lower there. Nonto. Don't really like Nonto this week against Everton. Why am I avoiding questions about March? I wasn't avoiding questions about March. I was talking. Christ almighty. I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been... I can't add everyone. I can't stare at the chat the whole time, particularly when I'm trying to talk. But Nonto is another player that's been suggested. We're gonna add him on. I'm not avoiding Nonto either. I'm not avoiding him. Let's put Nonto in. I don't think I'll put him that high. I really don't. He would go below a lot of these. I would probably put him like here, if I'm honest. He's cheap, but cheap for a reason, What's wrong with Bueno? It's just not really playing. Goalkeeper suggestions: Pickford. If I'm gonna buy a goalkeeper right now, I'm buying Pickford. There's my answer. Why is Reece James a bench? Because he is not going to be playing. Why should be high if he starts? Should he? Are you confident? Are you confident that Arsenal keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa? Because I'm not. Mike C says you've convinced me not to captain Haaland. Look, that was not my intention. I was just giving. I'm not here to try and create an agenda. I'm just saying that now is the time to take a risk if you want to take a risk. I don't want to be responsible for things to go wrong. Carter, add every single player on FPL, Dan. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? People asking me to add. Oh, can you add John Clarkson to the bench list, please? Who's John Clarkson? Oh yeah, 3.7 defender from Crystal Palace. Can you add him onto the bench list, please? Why are you ignoring the John Clarkson questions? Why are you not putting him on the bench list? No one has him. No one has him. No one. I mean, fair enough with March, people do have him. But people are asking me for like 1% ownership players. There's limited space on the bench list. The bench list is reserved for the most benchable players only. Or the most questionable players only. I don't know. Thank you. Rashford captain it. Oh, for crying out loud. Perisic. I'm going to add Perisic because I've seen him mentioned quite a lot of times. I don't think I would ever really back a Spurs defender right now. I'm going to put Perisic pretty low. Like all the way down here, maybe? Something like that. The Dan Army following your captaincy. We're going to die together. The Dan Army, Frederick, we're not called the Dan Army. We are called the Blackcurrant Squash Gang. The Blackcurrant Squash Gang will be captaining Rashford this week. But if you have decided you're going to be part of the Blackcurrant Squash Gang and you are going to captain Rashford, you have to accept that you are a little bit mad. You're a little bit crazy. And I salute you, don't get me wrong. I'll give you a little blackcurrant squash cheers. Cheers, guys. But don't blame me when it goes wrong. Blame the blackcurrant squash. Right. Yugashan says take Fernandes out to fund Saka for Martinelli. Probably bringing Bowen. No, I don't like it. Do I sell Mahrez? I don't know if I would sell Mahrez necessarily. I just wouldn't buy him. People are asking a lot of questions about which Chelsea defenders are going to play. If there's a risk of, if there's a lot of Chelsea defenders out right now, is it not worth just avoiding Chelsea defenders completely? That's probably what I would say. You're on the spicy captain pick, Rampalion. Dazzle says Perisic to replace Adams to allow for Saka. Perisic, Adams? Who's Adams? Is a defender called Adams? I can't think of. I don't even know who that is. You can downgrade Perisic to Tarkovsky, maybe. That's probably the way I'd go if I'm downgrading. Any Arsenal team news? Yes, we do. We've got Ben White starting, and we've got Martinelli on the bench. Trossard is starting. Yeah, we have got a bit of Arsenal. We got a bit of mighty arse. A bit of Arsenal news. Start Dunk or Ben Me. Consult the bench list, my friend. Wilson out. Don't know. Risky one. I would probably sell Wilson, to be honest. I would sell Wilson and Mitrovic. I would sell for João Felix. I would. Add Felix? No. You have him. You play him. You have him. You play him. Arsenal fan here. You reckon we bounce back today? Arsenal fan here. No. We might. Roasted Blur Gaming, a member of the show team gang. Shout out to the show team gang. I know you like to turn up around this time, so any members of the show team gang, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Guys, those of you guys who are asking, should I start this player or this player? The bench list you see in front of you is here specifically to help you guys out. So you don't need to ask me those questions. You don't need to send me super chats. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You can just have a look. So, yeah, basically, for those of you guys who are newer around here, the bench list orders players in priority order of whether you should play them or not. And it is very much my opinion. But, for example, if you've got Nketiah and Trippier, you have to bench one of those players. Because Nketiah is higher on the bench list than Trippier, then your answer is to play Nketiah and bench Trippier. And you can do that with any combination of two players. If two players are next to each other, for example, Shaw and Ben Mee, this is close. So if you disagree or you feel strongly against my opinions, then first of all, you don't need the bench list. But second of all, go with your gut. Any Man City team news? I mean, that would be the solution to everything, wouldn't it, really, if we had Man City team news? Unfortunately, the fact that Man City is not the early kickoff doesn't particularly help. No way I'm picking Mitoma over Mahrez. Fair enough. It appears that Nketiah is benched and Martinelli is playing up front. I've not seen that anywhere. I've not seen that. I saw on Twitter that Martinelli benched. I mean, I can verify that because of what the last thing I want to do is be wrong. Let's have a look here. Yeah. The early team news suggests that Trossard is starting ahead of Martinelli. So Nketiah is still safe. Which you think is kind of, that's not that out of the ordinary, really, is it? You'd imagine that Trossard's probably earned himself a start, even if we do love Martinelli. And we do love Martinelli here. We really do love him. It's 100% safe to captain Rashford. No, it is not. It is 100% not safe. It is 0% safe to captain Rashford. It is the least safe thing. So it's super, super duper safe. Since you said White is starting, but lower than... I put... Even though White is starting, I've still put him low on the bench list. I mean, I've put him next to Gabriel, who we knew was going to start. It's not because of the rotation. I think White is going to start, even without team news. After, Tomiyasu's performance against Man City was maybe one to forget. I think that brings White straight back in for this next game. And honestly, I don't think Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet. I can see Aston Villa scoring. I mean, if we look at the, highest XG of teams kind of recently, you can see Aston Villa are kind of slightly above average in terms of goal scoring here. And in terms of XGC, we are seeing Arsenal drop lower and lower and lower with each game week that passes. So Arsenal are weakening as a defence. Aston Villa have got some attacking quality there and have been scoring. Haven't Aston Villa pretty much scored every week since the break? So they scored against... Who do they play here? Can't find them. Okay, they scored against Man City. They scored 2 against Leicester. They... Is this where they didn't score? Where are you? Oh, no, one against Southampton, who have been one of the better defences since the break, might I add. Struggling to find Aston Villa. Scored 2 against Leeds. There's a pattern emerging here. Scored 1 against Wolves. Aston Villa, where are you? Aston Villa on this page. 2 against Spurs. And finally, they scored 1 against Liverpool. So, all in all, what we can say is that Aston Villa bang goals. And they have been banging goals recently, haven't they? So, Arsenal weakening in defence. Don't really trust them at the moment, particularly kind of a not-so-great run of form at the moment. And Aston Villa score goals. I'm putting Arsenal defenders low on the bench list, not because I think they'll be rotated, but because I just don't think a clean sheet is super likely. I'm going to end the captain poll, by the way, guys. It is a clear Haaland victory, but we have got Rashford there as a differential. So kind of interesting. There we go. A few people asking about Liverpool defenders and goalkeepers. I can see in the chat. Just no. Yeah, no. I'm not going to touch Liverpool defensively. Not even going to touch them. Not even going to go there near them. Chelsea news, rumour says James Cucurella-Silva and Ziyech not in the squad. Yes, you can see on screen we've got these 3 Chelsea guys now bottom of the bench list because they are not going to be playing. They are not going to be playing. Why captain Rashford? Because I'm a risk taker, my friend. I'm a risk taker. I've spoken about this already. Very briefly, I'll say it again. It is a good week for a risk when Man City players are rotation risk. Even if Haaland starts, if De Bruyne doesn't start, that's going to cause problems for Haaland. Maybe Haaland doesn't play the full game. Maybe he gets rotated. I'm just taking a risk on that. I don't think it's particularly sensible because if Haaland starts, you imagine that he does quite well. But it's just a week for a risk. This week is a risk week, really. Other weeks, not so much. Like next week, you know, I'm going to be captaining a double game week player, and then it's going to be back on the Horden show, I imagine, until other double game weeks, I guess. Show Team Gang are happy. Yeah, I know. Show Team Gang have been very happy the last couple of weeks. I've actually been very nice to the Show Team Gang recently. Been very, very nice to them indeed. I mean, maybe are we being too nice to the Show Team Gang? I think it's the Show Team Gang. They're in their numbers. They're about 50% of people who watch the Show Team Gang. It's like half don't Show Team Gang, half Show Team Gang. So, yeah. Why Tarkovsky over Kilman? At least score over Bournemouth, I think. I prefer Everton's defence. It's the main reason. But hey, look, they're fairly close on the bench list anyway, aren't they? Oh, wait, no, they're not that close. To be honest, could I drop Tarkovsky a bit lower? I could. But I'm not going to. A big question I do need to make is Ake or Dunk. I mean, I can see myself playing Dunk ahead of Ake. I can see it. I can feel it. It's not bad. Maybe I should, you know. I've been thinking about it all morning. I just don't know whether to go for it or not. Should we have a look at who's got high predicted points and maybe just go off that? Maybe. Brighton's defence is not bad. Fulham are not creating as much. Oh God, I'm so tired. Maybe we do need to consider it. Let's see, what are the prediction points saying? Let's have a look through some defenders on predicted points. For Gameweek 24. Make the AI make a decision. So, it reckons Thiago Silva and Reece James are up there. I can tell you, they will not be the highest scoring players. Perisic, you know, don't even touch him. Don't even touch him. Cook for it. It's scary that all of these Chelsea defenders are so high when they're not even going to be playing. Trippier's still very high. Luke Shaw's very high. Ake. Ake is actually really high here. But he's got to start. This is the problem. He's got to start. I don't know if that's going to happen. Where's Lewis Dunk? He's down here. I would love to play Lewis Dunk, but I just don't think I can. If Ake starts, it's kind of like if Mahrez starts, he's going to go wild. If Ake starts, he's going to go wild. It's kind of a one-pointer or a, you know, or a return. Either they get a one-pointer or a return. There's no two-pointers here. We're going to leave him there. If I transfer Mitch Vistam and Nketiah, Martinelli to who? Saka? If you can... Yeah, this is difficult. There's no midfielders. There's no midfielders to go for at the moment. There's none. Other than Saka and Ødegaard, there's not a single midfielder I would be willing to buy this game week. It's crazy. It's just not really a week to make transfers, is it? I would probably just do Martinelli straight to Ødegaard or Martinelli straight to Saka, and because those are the only two guys you really can get. Mitrovic and Nketiah looks nice, but you know, there's no midfielders. That has to be a priority. Oh dear. Bench list back up because I can see a lot of you guys are asking bench questions, last minute bench questions again. Yeah, again, if you've got a bench related question, then consult the bench list for your answer. Consult that bench list. Darwin -4 or João Felix? Darwin 4 -4 or João Felix? Oh, don't know. I don't know if I do that for a -4. Do you think Ake will start? I have no idea. I'm not gonna pretend to know the answer to that one. Unfortunately. Daddy boy, can you please add Darwin Nunez? You know what? I will. You know what? Just for you, Ashwin, I will do it. Where am I going to put him? Lower. Like here. I guess here. He's there on back the attacker merit only. He's on their back the attacker merit. That's the only reason he's as high as he is, and he's still below some of the defenders there. You know what? I probably actually would drop Almiron down a little, and Foden. Foden has got a good chance of starting. I'm gonna drop Almiron down there because I think I would prefer to play some of these defenders, if I'm honest. I'm gonna drop him a little bit. Don't feel like that is a great thing I really want to do, but any other team news apart from Martinelli? Loads of Chelsea team news. No one's playing apparently. No. Like it'll be Felix and Kepa are the only real Chelsea players worth considering at this point. What about Ferguson for Brighton? I'll probably play him. Put him reasonably high. Will I play him ahead of Mitrovic? Possibly. I don't know. Let's put like. I'll put Evan Ferguson, so we know which Ferguson I'm talking about. Well, let's put him like there. And our Chelsea defenders are dropping off the bottom of the list. They're dropping off, boys. They need to be shrunk. We need to shrink them down to size. There we are. How they fit. Down. Start Martinelli, White, Ake, or Andreas. Start White. Start Ake. Bench Andreas. Unless you can only start one, in which case start Ake. Dan, Rashford, heads or tails? Do you want me to flip a coin? Is there anyone here on a coin flip? If Mr. Damie says if Rashford captain pays off, I'll buy you the next iPhone. Dan, I am due an upgrade on my phone, to be fair, so that's not such a bad idea. All right. For those of you guys, please add Felix. Why? If you have him, play him. If you have Felix, play him. Ugh, I'm going to add him just so people shut up, basically. Shut up and play João Felix ahead of pretty much everyone. And it's really annoying me that I haven't added in the correct accents, so we're going to add them in there. Play him. Bring out the toin cost. All right, we're doing a toin cost. I haven't got a toin. We don't have a toin. I need to bring a toin here. Any toin costs, I have a. All right, I have. This is the best thing I could find. It's a little remote control for my neon lights. We're going to use this as the toin cost. So if you have a 50-50 decision on Rashford versus Haaland, this side means captain Rashford. I'm going to make this decision for you with the toin cost. This is not me. This is the toin cost. Rashford, Haaland. Right? You ready? There's no cheating. Right. Whatever it lands on, if you're in a toin cost situation, this is the decision that you have to make. I can feel with my hands what side it's on because I can feel where the buttons are. It is Rashford, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry. If you're in a toin cost situation, you're going to have to captain Rashford. You're going to have to captain him. We've got 1 minute to the deadline. AMR likes it. I'm with this type of juicy captain. That's good to hear. All right, she's got to be done. Oh, hang on. I'm just getting a phone call. Aha. It's my mate Marcus. Hello, Marcus, mate. Scoring a hat trick. Really? Scoring a hat trick. All right, well, I mean, if you insist, we're going to get an assist as well. That's 4 FPL returns. It sounds like you're being a bit too big for your boots there, mate. Oh, you reckon? All right, mate. Well, I mean, you've been smashing them in recently, so I do trust you. Have you heard about Erling Haaland? How's he going to be getting on? Benched? Really? Oh, wow. Haaland's been benched. Man, well, I mean, you understand it with the... Yeah, exactly, the fixture schedule. Yeah, all right, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, mate. That's really helped inform my decisions in FPL. Yeah, I'll catch up with you next week. Yeah, cool. See you there, mate. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to tell Brenda, ooga booga booga. Yeah, all right, mate. Oh. Sorry, that's just my mate on the phone. Sorry, I had to take that. Right, the deadline has passed. The deadline has passed. We are locked in. And, well, I mean, I've captained Marcus Rashford. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it now. Yeah, it's a risk. But it's a fun one. Look, FPL's meant to be fun at the end of the day. And, it's always a bit of fun on Twitter especially. Let's see how it goes. But hey, got the phone call confirmation. Got a phone call for confirmation, so I don't know what more I could do. I don't know what that. Oh, Clicker says that's a fake phone. Are you, Clickers? Are you kidding me? You think that's a fake phone? Don't know, mate. Pretty sure it's a real phone. Pretty sure. Have you never seen a phone before? How can you say this is a fake phone? It is clearly a phone. Look, this is the bit you speak in. This is the bit you listen to. It's got a little antenna on the end there. You guys enjoying that one? The buttons for done. It says phone right there. If you don't believe it's not, it's a. If you don't believe me, just read it. It says phone. Fake phone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ah. Dearie me. Accidentally started armor on. Unfortunate. I mean, it could work out. Janice says, don't leave your day job. Dan, you're a bad comedian. Well, I try. I try. Man has a phone from the 1920s. This is 1990s, by the way. The greatest era. Greatest era of football. David says, hey Dan, what flavoured squash are you drinking? Guys, anyone in the chat know the answer to that one? What flavour squash are we drinking today? What kind of flavour squash do we drink every day? It's every day, bro. The Oscars award is coming to you again. Have some squash. Boom. Fantastic. Fantastic. Ah, an honour. An honour. Paul says I changed captaincy to Rashford because of you, Dan. Anxiety already ramping up. I caramba. I don't want to be the reason for the failure. Blackcurrant squash. Yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. We only do blackcurrant squash here. I mean, the only time we don't drink blackcurrant squash is when things are going very wrong and I have to punish myself. If my FPL team is doing very, very badly, I had punished myself by not allowing myself blackcurrant squash. It's good motivation because I'm a blackcurrant squash fiend and addict, let me tell you. Big 1990s phone, that's it. Charlie says I will unsubscribe if Rashi blanks now. Well, I mean, look, I was just on the phone to him, so don't blame me. Blame the phone. Blame the coin costs. Ricky Tamir says, I'm sending this super chat knowing fully well the deadline has passed. Hey Dan, who should I captain, Haaland or Rashford? Ricky, you're a madman. I would captain Rashford personally. But if I was to give you advice, I would say captain Haaland. But if you're on Rashford, let's have some fun. This beat is sick. I think this could be interesting. Dan has a prop for everything. You have not seen half of my props, guys. I've got more. I've got many more props. I just haven't really thought of I don't want to waste them on a bad joke. Because the half of the appeal of the prop comedy is the surprise, I feel like. The obscurity of it. So I've got a couple of other props that will surprise you when they come out. I just need to think of the right joke to bring them in. What brand is the phone? It's a Nokia. Is he saying toin cost to troll? Yes. Yes and no. Once on stream, this was like a couple of months ago, I accidentally said toin cost instead of coin toss. So from now on, the channel meme is toin cost. Which, by the way, I said I need to make a toin cost emoji. Jandre said, I'm panicking now and I captain Haaland. You've got nothing to panic about, mate. It's us Rashford captains that have got something to panic about. Dazzle said, we should do a fancy dress stream for charity with all your props. Thought about it. I've got a costume or two. Jananya here. Rashford captain as well. Makes City game exciting today. If it goes well, nice feeling until 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, so true. So true. I mean, let's be honest. Like, if Rashford, like, kills it, right? Does really well. Then it's like if Man City do really well and Haaland gets like, even if Haaland gets like a 12-pointer or something like that, or somewhere around the 10-pointer mark, right? There's no reason why Rashford can't match that. So that's like the best scenario for Haaland captain is like a hat trick. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that he'll get that far into the game. I think, you know, if Man City are up by a couple of goals, he gets substituted off anyway. So, you know, best case scenario for Rashford captain is that Haaland doesn't even start, gets a 1-pointer from the bench, or plays less than 60 minutes and doesn't get an FPL return, or maybe only gets one FPL return, an assist or something. That's kind of what we're hoping for as Rashford captains, right? If Haaland gets one goal, you know, gets a 9-pointer, for example, 8-pointer, 9-pointer, there is no reason why Rashford can't match or do better than that. No reason whatsoever. In fact, you back him to do it. So it's not as big of a risk as I think, you know, maybe I've made it out to be. It's just not super sensible, is it? But look, if Haaland is benched today or scores a low score today, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. Very, 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 very good. More super chats. Guys, you don't need to send me super chats after the deadline. I mean, I can't even answer your FPL questions. You're just doing it to be nice to me. Thank you. Blue Militia says, not much, but cheers for your videos and commitment to regular quality content. Well, Blue Malicious, thank you so much. I mean, that's, you say it's not much, but it's more than you can imagine. And like the words alone, it means so much to me. So thank you. Genuinely thank you. That's amazing. That really is. It really, really is. I've got another super chat. What's going on with these super chats past deadline? This is mad. SK, £5 again. My week 24, Kepa, Saliba, Trips, Shaw, Saka, KDB, Odegaard, Rashford, Mahrez, Felix, Haaland. Looks good. Looks good. What do you think for 25? You'll probably be looking at removing Luke Shaw. Aside from that, you're pretty much set. Luke Shaw to Tarkowski looks good. You could maybe think about doing KDB to Salah as well. Those two moves, you'll be having a decent week indeed. But yeah, you look like you're in a good position. Johnny Rock says, Dan, you're going to put on the clown suit when Haaland hat tricks? God, please don't. Please don't say that. I mean, look, there will be a... there'll be banter on Twitter. There will be banter on Twitter. I need to probably post something about Rashford, to be honest. I'm going to tweet something. I want to see the reaction to what people say about me actually going ahead with the Rashford captain. And we'll continue to I think Twitter this weekend is going to be me basically memeing Rashford versus Haaland. No matter which way it goes, it's going to be fun. Okay, there's a Rashford tweet. There's a poorly thought out one. We'll do some better ones later. Dazzle says, Dan, I have a very stressful job, so it's great when I finish to have a stream that is light-hearted but very informative. Keep up the great content, the best FPL content channel by a mile. Oh, it means so much to me. Oh, I love it. I love it. Always get a bit of imposter syndrome in terms of FPL content because I know there's others out there who I think are doing a very good job. A very good job indeed. So... Look, I usually think of myself as an alternative. When you're done, you finish watching some of the other FPL channels, maybe you'll stop by FPL Mate, see what he's up to. Do you think Bueno is a problem for Gameweek 25 and beyond? Let's see. He's never going to be a player you want to play regularly. He could be an option in Gameweek 25 itself. Matt says, we'll outscore you this week, Dan. Good luck. Let's see. Aiden says, when did Salah become viable again? I don't know. Never. Never. Do you think... Oh, hang on. What else we got here? Should we take hits to get 11 players for Gameweek 25, even if it means ripping teams apart? Or how many players is essential? I think if you're swapping out a blanking player for a player of a double game week, then that's worth a -4 because you pretty much make the 4 points back immediately. People saying Martinelli starting at number 9. This is a surprise. Does that mean Nketiah is benched? Where's this coming from? Where is it coming from? I would love... Oh, this is not good. This is an L. This is an L. I'm going to find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of this one. Where am I looking? So I guess if I do a search on Nketiah, yeah, okay. A few people are saying Nketiah is bench, but they don't. I'm not seeing any people saying Nketiah bench from anyone who I know to be reliable. Yeah, I can't find anything reliable. I've got people. There are people saying it on Twitter, but there's none of like the usual accounts that I kind of follow. Don't know. Cigar says, "Have you met FPL Tips, FPL Raptor? Let's talk football." I like this been called Let's Talk Football. The disrespect. I've never met FPL Tips. I don't think anyone has ever met FPL Tips. We've got FPL Raptor, who I've met a couple of times. Nice guy. Let's Talk FPL. Never met him. He lives in Ireland, so he's not even in the same country. Yeah. Your phone is the size of a mini iPad. Oh, I can assure you, it's much bigger. Look at Andy's link. Andy's link. That's cryptic. What, like, I guess you mean on his Twitter. Actually, why don't I just do this on my computer? Then you can all see what I'm seeing rather than... Why don't I search Twitter in the bar? Let's talk FPL. Andy's link. Okay, yeah, this is the same one I saw. I've never seen this account before in my life. I'm not saying he's unreliable. I'm not saying I don't know him. I don't know this person, so it's difficult for me to say. Because his previous tweets is just him giving his opinion on who should start. But yeah, like there are certain accounts on Twitter that I do follow for team news, and they are really reliable. And I've not seen any of them post it. So this guy, SamC345, if he tweets something, I pretty much believe him. and he is not. Not today, anyway. He did some Chelsea stuff yesterday, though, which I believe. Yeah, Thiago Silva, Rhys James. It's team news and ticks. If they have something. Yeah, nothing again. Nothing here. So, yeah, I would believe this one. But we got nothing. So, yeah, look, I'm not making accusations that the guy is a fraud, but there is as far as I know, he is. So, I don't know. What on earth is this? What? What is going on? No, I don't know. Let's find out. We've got 15 minutes. We'll find out in 15 minutes. Barry says, stop liking tweets where your subscribers receive abuse just because they disagree with me. You like one where a subscriber was called a sad beasted. It's bullying Dan. Did I do that? I mean, I might have. I mean, I like tweets all the time. I don't always read the full tweets before liking them. Likes do not equal endorsements. But if I've liked something like that, it's probably because the sad bastard in question... I'm just going to leave this on screen, by the way, guys. I'm enjoying the view. I don't know about you guys. Bit of aerial on a Saturday morning. Why not? Yeah, it's probably not because they've disagreed with me. It's because they've been, not very nice to me. Either rude, condescending, it's like people always say this. I know we're going off topic, but that's just what we do after the deadline's passed. This is something I feel very strongly about. This tweet is making me furious. I'm sorry, guys. It's staying on screen. We're gonna keep dancing all night whilst I tell you how I feel about things on Twitter. So, whenever someone gets blocked on Twitter, we see it all the time. People get blocked on Twitter, and they always will tweet out, "Oh, I can't believe I got blocked for saying this." But usually, that's not what you got blocked for. It's usually, and for me personally, when I block someone, and I do block people on Twitter, which I'm well within my right to do, I believe, it's because someone has done it so many times. And I've seen, there's been other, members of the FPL Twitter community with, thousands of followers. And they tweeted out, "Oh my God, FPL Mate, he's so sensitive. I can't believe he blocked me for saying this." And he quoted the tweet that I did block him after. But what he didn't mention is the fact that he'd been following me around on Twitter, basically just trying to troll me and take the piss out of me for the last 2 years. And that's why I blocked him. Not for the last straw, for all of the combined straws. Because it does take a lot to break this donkey's back, this camel's back. How you feeling about this dancing, by the way, guys? Is anyone getting dizzy yet? I know I am. Oh, hurting my shoulders doing all the shoulder dances. I think we'll take this off screen now. I'm going to put my team back on screen. Deary me. Shreyams says, why do I captain Rashford? Why do I switch the captain to Rashford? Because I feel like taking a risk. I woke up feeling quite risky. Chandra says, avoid dancing. IHB says, no more watch-alongs on stream. I will be doing more Twitch stuff. I'm waiting for my internet to be upgraded because basically the problem I was consistently facing was that I was trying to play online video games and stream at the same time, and my internet cannot handle both at the same time. It just kills my gaming speed. My ping goes through the roof. It just goes terribly, and I can't play very well on my video games. And that's the most important thing, right? So I am apparently getting an internet upgrade. They said it would be happening in December. That didn't happen. Didn't happen in January either. Tried to contact them this week. They haven't responded to me. I've either been scammed, which I don't think is that likely, because I've seen them. My mum has the same internet, and she lives kind of close to me, And they upgraded her recently, like her internet, like a few months ago. So I'm guessing they're going to upgrade me at some point soon. Let's see. As soon as the internet is upgraded, then we'll be back on Twitch. We'll be back on Twitch. But right now, my internet... We can do actually more stuff in these streams as well when my internet is upgraded. I'm kind of waiting for that. Early captain thoughts for Gameweek 25. Saka, right now. You played Hogwarts Legacy, Dan? No, I haven't played it yet. I can't decide whether to download it or not. I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends new season. You could just watch the games and have FPL discussions with the chat. Could be a vibe. Could be, yeah. Could be. Danny, you playing Fortnite? Nah, just Apex Legends, man. You're definitely talking about community fiber. Yeah. I am waiting for full fiber, yeah. I live, like, those of you who don't know, I live in, like, a really, really rural area. Right now, I'm on the best internet that is possibly available. I'm paying as much money as they will let me pay them to try and get the best possible internet. I've looked around, I've looked for different deals. It's impossible to get it up any higher than it is right now. And I'm still sitting at 30 megabits per second down, and I think it's like 8 megabits per second up. So yeah, it's okay. Like you can survive on it, but as soon as you try and do anything remotely complicated, it just fails. So yeah, I apparently I can get 900 up and down. If it can be done, it will be done. It doesn't look very rural. What? You can tell by looking at my room that it doesn't seem rural. I will cry if Nketiah doesn't start. Well, we'll find out soon. Dan, would you rather win FPL or a year's long supply of petrol? I don't really drive anywhere, if I'm honest. I just get I mean, I sold my car actually. I just sold my car about a year and a half ago. Can't remember, why did I sell my car? Oh yeah, to pay for my garden. Yeah, I actually sold my car. So I don't really drive that often. Like I work from home, obviously, with YouTube. So I would definitely win for FPL. I mean, that would like give me legend status forever. It would be a fantastic. Sagar saying you're getting better speed in India than me. I mean, that's is India even known for? Is India known for good internet speeds? I don't know. Doesn't scream farmer. There's a difference between rural and farmer. And I'm guessing, Claudette, you are city folk. What city folk fail to understand is that there's a lot of normal people who live in rural areas. Very, I say normal, maybe being a bit generous to myself there, to be honest. There's lots of people who, farming is not the only jobs in rural areas. I mean, we have shops like everyone else. We have industry, kind of. We don't have as many office jobs, granted, but we do have some of those as well. A lot of us aren't farmers. In fact, very few of us. I don't know a single farmer. And there's farms everywhere near where I live. Remember, like, farmland is like 99% of rural areas, but there's only like one farmer per like 10 miles squared of farm, so not very many of us. Okay, so we're saying that Martinelli is playing up front. Do they still point at planes there? Come on, man. There's a lot of in between. It's not just either rural or urban. Yeah, like there's like I don't know how many people in my town, but like there's like 8,000 people who live in my town, so it's pretty small. In fact, I don't think it's that. It's probably like 4,000, 5,000 people. But we have got a new estate, so A few more. Some city folk have been coming down to my area. Oh, those bloody city folk coming over here. Oh. Do we just wait for team news at this point? We've got 5 minutes. I don't want that on my screen anymore. Right. Someone said AFC Sam. This is this person, right? This is still the only source. Why is he? Is he troll? Is this some kind of troll? What does this mean? J2O. Is this just some kind of joke that I don't understand? Do I live in Hot Fuzz Town? No, not every rural area is a oh hello, oh all right my lover, how are you doing? I saw Johnny at the pub the other day. He's always up to no good. It's not like that. It's just like I have to get a train or a taxi if I want to go anywhere interesting. J20 is Jorginho. Is it? Oh, that's quite a good joke. That's a good one. I've not seen that one before. Interesting. Thank you for the heads up, Johnny. All you need is it. Well, we knew he was going to be starting, didn't we? I mean, party is not available. All you need is a KFC. Yeah, if I want a KFC, I have to travel about 20 minutes, which is not like a lot. Like I can get to a McDonald's in 10 minutes. I can, if I drive anyway. I can get to a Tesco's Express in 10, 15 minutes if I walk. 5 minutes if I drive. Gooner's Extra. Have I heard of Gooner's Extra? For they follow me. Oh, this is a. All right, guys. I mean, I think we're done here. We've got 3 minutes of team news. I think we're done. I don't think we need to have a look anymore because we're looking at some really random accounts. We're looking at some really like. If I tweeted today, Nketiah benched, would you believe me? You probably would, to be fair. But that's only because this, like, followers count maybe, or reputation. These people that have been sharing that Nketiah has been benched. I'm not saying they are frauds, but I don't think they have the reputation to suggest they should be just automatically trusted. They probably got to get it right a couple of times. I'm happy to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not prepared to believe it blindly. So you think Nketiah... If you ask me right now, I would not say that Nketiah is benched, no. But look, we don't know. We don't know. Well, we're going to find out in 2 minutes. I think fellow Nketiah owners, I think we'll pray together. We'll pray together that we get the result we need. So a couple of people saying that AFC Sam's a troll. Count Celo says, to be fair, I would purely because I think you're competent. Yeah, to be fair, it is if there was a joke there, I think I would make it. But I wouldn't just randomly say, oh, you know, Nketiah isn't starting if I wasn't really, really convinced and confident about it. A couple of videos ago, you said your family were disappointed because you became an FPL YouTuber. Is that true? No, it's not true. It was just a joke. My family were disappointed in me before I became an FPL YouTuber. Wesley says, love the farm talk, Dan. That's a new podcast. Mate, what's the podcast name? Not all rurals. Not all rurals are farmers. Some of us have regular jobs of work. I mean, you got to remember, like, a lot of people these days are like home workers. So you see a lot of people who like work from home or, you know, work remotely or commute as well. Like, there's like, I can get to London in, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe. It depends on where in London. Central London I can get to in about 50 minutes. So like that's a viable commuter town, considering it's like a little bit cheaper where I live as well than London. Let's go on the Arsenal Twitter page because that's what we're all waiting for, right, guys? Ooh, they're repping the big badge today. They are repping the big badge. Team's out. All right. Where? Refresh. 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. Where? Oh wait. Oh, do I have to just keep refreshing? Where are you, team news? Where are you, team news? You live in Tunbridge Wells. I do not. Aha! Oh. Well, imagine my shock. Imagine my shock. I'm tweeting about this. This is tweet worthy. There we go. Is Dan a Luton boy? Getting closer, getting warmer. I'm not a Luton boy though. Luton is like a mini London. Like near here. But look, back on topic. Dig in the shirt, by the way, Granite. You're looking fine. You're looking swish. You're looking swell. Yeah, like I can't believe you know. Look, we called it. To be fair, we called it, right? We called it. St Albans. No. Get further away. All right, so yeah, we've got Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and Ketia. So full strength aside from Jorginho in for Partey, who's obviously injured, and Trossard in for Martinelli, who is yeah, just I mean Trossard just earned himself a start with some good football, I guess. We've got Smith Rowe on the bench. Let's see. It's yeah. I mean, we kind of did call the Martinelli benching before it's the deadline. So I mean, guess we feel good, right? We've got Mings is back for Aston Villa. I think it's probably Bailey on the bench. I know a few people have him. It's pretty much as interesting as it gets for Aston Villa, though. Oh, we've got some more guesses of where I'm from in the chat. Like, you're never going to guess the specific town that I live in because nobody in their right mind. It's like I say, it's like 4,000 people live in my town, so nobody has heard of this town. But Chelmsford, do I sound like I'm from Chelmsford? I don't think I do. I don't think I sound like I'm from Chelmsford. I think I definitely live in a place a little bit posher than that. And not fake posh, I mean actual. Milton Keynes, pretty close. Pretty close. I mean, Milton Keynes. Place I go to semi regularly. Probably once a month I'm in Milton Keynes. What else have we got here? Is it in Hertfordshire? No. Kind of close. Cambridge is rural. Well, I can tell you that I was born in Cambridge. I was born in Cambridge. Callum says Barton-le-Calais. That is really, really specific. I can tell you that my cat was born in Barton-le-Calais. Really random that you've even guessed. You've even guessed Barton-le-Calais. Because I was not born there, but my cat was. Oh, how weird. Petersfield, Desperate, Leighton Buzzard, Silverstone, St Neots. I'm in St Neots all the time, but I don't live there. I'm probably in St Neots like once every couple of weeks, but I don't live there. Guildford. I feel like do I actually want to disclose specifically what town I live in? Probably not. Probably not. All right, I can tell you. Husbands Bosworth. Toddington, Flitwick. You're not like with some of these guesses. You're not so far away. Some of these guesses are pretty close. Like St Neots is pretty close. Biggleswade, you gone for? I have lived in Biggleswade in the past, and I've lived in St Neots in the past. I've moved to more rural than even those. Dorking, never even heard of it. Shefford, never lived there, but I'm pretty close. Matetown, now you're getting it. Some people, you are getting closer. Amptill, I live kind of near Amptill. Broome, God, that's so specific. Broome, are you guys literally, Halsey? You guys are just sitting on Google Maps and trying to narrow it down, triangulating FPL Mate location. People are looking up towns near Luton. They are, aren't they? Braintree, you're getting further away. Sawston, you're getting further away. Dartmouth, you're getting further away. Cambridgeshire, no. Sandy, you're close, but no. I've never lived in Sandy either. I'll give you a clue. I've lived in St Neots and I've lived in Biggleswade. So it's somewhere in the Biggleswade St Neots area. I don't think I'm gonna be more specific than that. Oh, I'm interested to see if any of you get it, which none of you have. No one's got it. But some of you guys have come kind of close, obviously. But none of you have got it. And even if you did get it, I wouldn't tell you. All right, just say if you see the town in the chat, I wouldn't say exactly where I live if I didn't live in a 4 million strong Toronto. Fair enough. Fair enough. I lived in Biggleswade for 9 months. Oh, no way. No, we might have been neighbours. Biggleswade is not huge. It's like 20,000 people that live there, I think. Someone says I'm from China and that they're my dad, which is interesting. A couple more guesses in the chat. Some interesting guesses. New Delhi. We've gone from less than an hour's drive from London to New Delhi. Once we find out it's Saturday night party at the FPL Mate mansion. Mansion is a stretch. A very big stretch. Well, look, I can tell you that one of you has got it. I'm not telling you who or which one, but one of you has got it. I may have... it may have happened right now. I may have waited a few minutes before announcing it. It may have happened 5 minutes ago. I can't tell you. But one of you has got it. So congratulations. One of you guys knows where I live. And I guess we'll see. Is it bad to say where you live? I never know, because when people like say, "Oh, I'm from London," it's like, "Oh, that's absolutely fine. Oh, I'm from Manchester. I'm from, you know." But as soon as you live in like a small town, it's just like, do not say. But yeah, you guys have got it. It's an hour to Arsenal. Yeah, like I can get to Arsenal like from the train station. It's like 5 minutes from my house. Drive anyway, 5-minute drive. Yeah, I get to the Emirates Stadium in about 45 minutes. Count Seelar says it's a very bad idea, but Count Seelar, you are a man who likes to protect their identity online. Why would it be a problem to say, I don't know. Party at Dan's place. You know what, guys? Come on down. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to give my address away. Let's see your garden. Do I have a picture of it on my phone? I think have I posted pictures? I don't know. I feel like I've posted pictures of my garden before. In fact, I did. Ages. Oh, so long ago. Let's have a look. I think I posted a video. Oh, there you go. It was right there. There you go. Here you can see. This is... Oh, beautiful. This is the new garden that we did in the summer. Actually, that reminds me, I didn't sell my car to pay for the garden. I sold my car to pay for the wedding. I remember now because the garden only happened not that long ago. So there you go. There's an insight into my. Some guy on Google Maps cross-referencing the garden. It shouldn't. Well, you shouldn't be able to do that because the garden is new, so it shouldn't be on Google Earth or Google Maps yet. So there you go. That's you're not going to get much from that, I don't think. Unless you are a super nerd who can kind of somehow work out trees, a next door neighbor house. But yeah, like it's not going to be on Google Maps. There you go. Right, mansion confirmed. I don't know about that. Real or fake grass? You're going to hate me. It's fake grass. But it feels like you're sitting a mile away from the TV. It's quite a big TV, to be fair. Hang on, I think it's like... Yeah, it's bigger than it... I've also got fisheye lens, so everything looks bigger than it actually is in this. So please don't think this is a massive room or anything like that, or a massive garden. It's really not. It's a fisheye lens. The trials and tribulations of a fisheye lens. Did I see a child? I hope not. Or have I been rumbled out? Rumbled? No. You saw my wife. Real or fake grass? It is fake grass, but I should clarify that I do have really bad hay fever. So, I couldn't even be out there. I couldn't even, like, if my neighbours like cut their grass, I can't go outside. Like I have to stay indoors with all windows and doors shut because otherwise my face explodes. So that's the reason why I've got fake grass. It's not because I hate the environment or I hate grass particularly. Actually, I do hate grass. Not in theory. It's a very personal relationship I have with grass. But it's just because like I can't see and my nose doesn't work when grass has been cut near me. So unfortunately, it has to be fake grass. Palm trees, it's got to be Essex. It's not Essex, but I like that joke. Are those socks with sandals? Yes, they are. Earlier you said toying costs several times. Was it deliberate? It was. Amesbury's 10 to 15 minutes walk from Tesco's Extra. That's true. There's also a Tesco's Express next to a pub in... Oh no, that's Eton Soken that I'm regularly in. Are those body bags? No, they are bean bags. I googled window with 100 football shirts and your location popped up. Well, joke's on you because I only have about 30. A lot of them are in the wash at the moment. In fact, I've actually run out of room on here, so we're actually having to bench, if you like, football shirts. Nothing scarier than grass. As a hay fever sufferer, I can agree. It's going to be hay fever season in the next couple of months as well. I'm not looking forward to it. Do you have a boiler if it's rural? I tell you what, we didn't even have, like when we moved into this house, we didn't even have like gas heating full stop. There was, they never plumbed this house into the gas. Is it called plumbing if it's gas? I think it is. Yeah. It isn't, what was it? So we had to actually put gas into the house so we could have, proper heating because it was just storage heaters previously. So it's so rural. They didn't even properly do the houses. Grass is green just like kryptonite. Oh, you are so right. Bench list for shirts. Yeah, we perhaps need that one, don't we? I'll tell you what, this shirt definitely would not be going on the bench. You didn't have water. We had water, just no gas. Yeah, so no gas heating. Electric heaters only, which were like from the 1980s. They were so old. They barely worked. This house was just not in a good place when we first got it. We've had to do a lot of work. Like the garden before was just terrible. Like, have I got there we go. That is what my garden used to look like. But like the whole garden was just this. The whole garden. Do you commute by horse to do the shopping? No. You do an order. Better to be allergic to grass than to be allergic to weed. Not much of a doobie man myself. So I'd actually wouldn't really affect my life. Transferred out asphalt for AstroTurf. Exactly. There we go. Let's put my team back on screen. Right, I think we could probably stop this. Should we stop the stream now? What's the time? It's 11:45. It's 900 people here somehow. Don't know why. Loving the Uggs, mate? Yes. I mean, I love my Uggs. Incredible landscaping. Thank you. Expensive out landscaping, let me tell you that. Did you transfer out the Ugg boots? No. I've had those Ugg boots. I think I bought them just before I went to university as like shoes to wear around the university accommodation, around the university flat apartment. And I still have them to this day, and I wear them. I would say I wear them every day. I say I wear my Ugg boots every single day, even so many years later. How many years has it been? Many. Many. I didn't know they sold Uggs after 2012, after 2015. Yeah, it would have been just before 2015 I bought them, I think. What did you study? Media and journalism. I don't know if you can say it was a success or not. But yeah. I mean, I dropped out like in first year, so I didn't complete my degree. Anyway, did you do landscaping yourself? Have you seen me? I am an internet-dwelling nerd who plays FPL and Apex Legends pretty much 24 hours a day. I can tell you I did not do. I mean, do you reckon these big muscles did the landscaping? I don't think so. I visited the actual Ugg store in Sydney, Australia. Cost a bloody fortune. Are you a big Ugg boot fan? Much like myself, then? Potentially. Can you do an Arsenal game watch along? No. And the only reason is because I am so tired. I think I said earlier on in the stream, I only had about 3 hours sleep last night. And I don't know why. I wasn't even up doing it. I wasn't playing Xbox. I wasn't partying. I was just like, I just couldn't sleep. Apex new season is extremely nice. Serum Rampart main here. Always helpful characters to have on your team. You know what? I'm looking to push Masters this season. Is there any regular Diamond players or Master players on console that want to team up? If any of you want to team up on Apex and you kind of play at like Diamond or Masters level, let me know. I main Horizon and Wraith. I'm playing a lot of Wraith at the moment. I'm Silver 4 right now, normally in Diamond. Yeah, I'm in Silver at the moment. But only because there's a bug right now, apparently, where you get demoted. Yeah, I'm playing Wraith at the moment. Trying to get my 4K badge on Wraith, but it hasn't really worked out so far. I think I got 3.5 yesterday. 3.5 thousand damage. And I was like, oh my god, if I just like hit a few more shots, then maybe I could have done it. Or was it? Or was it more than that? I'll have to go check. No, it was 3,700 damage. Anyway, waffling. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm tired. I wanna refill my squad. I wanna watch the Arsenal game, and I wanna try not to fall asleep. But I know I'm going to. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you want to like the stream, feel free to. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. Good luck this game week. I'll catch you over on Twitter. We'll do loads of stuff on Twitter. Loads of stuff on Twitter this weekend. It's going to be a fun game week of banter and jokes and laughs and memes. So yeah, see you guys over there, hopefully. And then after that, videos, I suppose. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck. Have fun. Enjoy the football. And I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.